Good morning, children. Today we are going to start our new lesson, lesson number 4. I became a man. So let's get started. Let's share our ideas. So, as you can see on your screen, there are 5 activities. Okay, and you have to tick on this one of the 3 options. A stands for adult, B stands for both, that means adult and child, and C stands for child. So 3 options are there, and from this you have to select one. Like first, brush one's own teeth. So I think adult and child both can do, so B is the right option. Ride a motorcycle. Adult only can do, because children are not allowed unless they attain or are of 18 years. Third one, easily crawl under a bed while playing hide and seek. I think adult cannot, child only. Okay, so C is the right option. Travel alone to another city. Alone? No. That means when you are grown up, then only you will be allowed. Okay, so there is a lot of danger actually for children, especially going alone. So adult only. A is the right option. Watching TV. Watch TV. That is both. Okay, adult also, children also. But children, they are watching a lot nowadays. Now, we're going to start the explanation. Let us introduce this. Okay, so questions, as you can see on the right, there is question 1. What would you do if you were to wake up tomorrow and find out that you were a grown up? So especially we say actually grown up, that means we think of 18 years of age. That means that brings a lot of responsibilities and duties. Okay, so as a child, especially you are a pampered child, you are having a comfort zone, you are in a comfort zone, you are being taken care of by your parents, you are not allowed to do a lot of things. Okay, but when you are grown up, that means you are being responsible. Okay, you have to perform a lot of duties. Now see question number 2. How would you describe a stormy rainy day? Stormy rainy day, that means it's raining so hard, it's dark, it's thunder, a lot of noise, lightning, strong wind. All this suggests actually when you are a small child, that means it's create a fear in you when you are all alone actually at home. Okay, fear, frightened, scared. Such type of situation might be you have experienced. Okay. Here in this lesson, a 10-year-old boy dressed in a raincoat marched out into the storm and became a man. Let's find out how this happened. So it was the worst thing that could happen to a pampered 10-year-old boy. Pampered? What do you mean by pampered? Pampered means special treatment given to a child to feel as comfortable as possible. That means you are being taken care. You are not grown up. You are being pampered. Okay, you are given a special treatment. So that's meaning of pampered. So that means in this story, this boy, the narrator who is telling you the story, so he's saying actually that worst thing happened to him. So he is 10 years old boy. 8 o'clock in the evening. So what was the time? It was 8 o'clock and it's evening. Storm raging outside. So what do you mean by raging? That means that when that speed, actually it was so very strong or violent. because it was storm. Okay, so storm was very violent, it was very strong outside. Homework still undone. So that means still actually homework was not done, and it was 8 o'clock. Home all alone. So see to that field that when you are all alone at home, 8 o'clock. From time to time, I would hear the roar of an auto rickshaws engine and rush to the front door of our house in Quezon City, Philippines, hoping to see my mother arriving home. But it was always someone else, mum or dad. So that means this boy was eagerly waiting for his mother to come home because he was all alone. He was having fear. So whenever he hear auto rickshaws engine, that means he thought that actually might be his mother had come. But when he see outside, so he found that it was somebody else, mom or dad. So it was all happening in a Quezon City, Philippines. See, what do the following words mean? Pampered, as I already told you. Okay, so special treatment given to a child to feel as comfortable as possible. So you are in a comfort zone, that means you are a pampered child. And raging, as I told you, that it is very strong or violent storm. Okay, now next, according to the narrator, so who is the narrator? Narrator is a boy. What could be the worst thing that happened to a 10-year-old boy? So what could be the worst thing? As it was in the passage only. Worst thing, actually he was all alone at home. It was 8 o'clock, nobody was there, and it was storm outside. Violent wind. Okay, and he was all alone. So that was something fearsome. Next question. Who was the boy waiting for? So that boy was waiting for his mother to come. Okay, because he was frightened at home, all alone at home. Now, comprehension questions. So all these questions are based on what we read, what we understood, what I explained in the earlier passage. First question is, how old was Carlo? I think if you were hearing me carefully, and even actually if you have read that passage, you got the answer. How old was Carlo? Carlo was 10 years old. Okay, at what time did this event take place? As you can see, there actually is a time. What is the time? So that was 8 o'clock. Now, what were the three things that were making Carlo miserable? So what were the three things? So first one that was making Carlo miserable, that was a storm. What is the second one? His homework was undone. And what was that third one? He was all alone at home. Now, fourth question. Was he waiting impatiently for his mother to come home? Pick out suitable words in support of your answer. Yes, definitely. He was waiting impatiently. How we come to know? As you can see in the third picture. See, there is Carlo. Okay. So what was happening? Whenever he heard the roar of auto rickshaw, he thought that actually might be his mother had come. But what he find? Okay, he found that always there are somebody else, mom or dad. Okay, I like to think of myself as a grown man, but fear was eating away at my bravado. What do you mean by bravado? That means be courageous, to show courage. That is brave. We say in a brave, so that is bravado. The storm grew stronger. The lights went off. The clock struck 9. See, almost an hour passed. Understood? Home alone. Okay. So he wanted to be grown up. He was thinking like he has grown up. He don't want to be get fear of this, that he is all alone. But what was happening? He was becoming so fearful. He wanted to be brave, but all it was being eaten up by fear, because the storm grew stronger and stronger. And upon this, what happened? The lights went off. It was all dark. And it was 9 o'clock now. Almost an hour passed. Then the phone rang. I swallowed up my sobs and answered. It was Mum. So that was the call of his mother, Carlo's mother. Hello, Carlo, she began. I am still. So before actually her mother could speak, but that he interrupted. That means he stopped his mother and he asked, where are you? I interrupted. That means that Carlo actually interrupted. Who is I actually? The narrator. And who is the narrator? That is Carlo. Fully aware that my nervousness was unbecoming for a grown up. That means he is not grown up now. He was so nervous, feeling so nervous, and even having fear, scared, all alone at home. So what his mother said, I am here in Glory's with your brother. I knew that Glory's supermarket was only 5 minutes from our house. So what was that Glory? Glory is a supermarket. So his mother was at supermarket, Glory's supermarket. Okay, and it was just 5 minutes away from his house, Carlo's house. What time will you be home? I asked. See, he was being eaten up by fear. He was eagerly waiting for his mother to come. Light went off. Frightened he was. He wanted to know actually when she will come. Okay, so unless we get a ride, you shouldn't expect us anytime soon. So that was the reply of his mother. So they are not getting a ride, not getting any vehicle, auto rickshaws to come back home. Okay, so but she also said that to Carlo that it could be 5 minutes or maybe actually longer. So that means there is no time to expect. Anytime they can come. Why don't you take an auto rickshaw home? So he asked, Carlo asked, the auto rickshaw drivers won't accept any passengers from here. So what was his mother's reply? That auto rickshaw drivers won't come. They don't want to take passengers from there, from Glory's market. Okay. Then what was the reply of Carlo? Walk. You can come by walk because it was just 5 minutes away. Through that flood, that was the reply of his mother. I don't think so. That's why I called. So that means that was flood. That means they cannot cross that in that area. Flood means there was a lot of water over there. Okay, it was all okay. So it was all covered by water everywhere. So they cannot walk through it. Understood? So, and that's why I called, actually, that is what he doesn't want to hear. Okay, so he said, actually, I braced myself. What do you mean by actually I braced myself? It is already given in the text. You can see down. Braced myself means prepared myself for something difficult. He expected that actually his mother would say something. Okay, so that means he was prepared for something actually which he wouldn't welcome. So get your raincoat, hail an auto and fetch us, she said. What do you mean by hail? Hail means to call for an auto rickshaw here. Okay, to call, that means. So his mother directed him to wear a raincoat and call her auto rickshaw, because nobody would accept them actually from there, the auto rickshaw drivers. And what is the meaning of fetches? That means to go to another place to bring somebody back. So that means he has to take an auto rickshaw to bring his mother and brother back home. So that his mother wanted him to do. Stunned, I couldn't utter a word. See, still actually he is not grown up. He is pampered. He is very small. Okay, so he was so shocked. He couldn't say anything. So here, as you can see, there are some questions. What do the following words mean? Bravado. As I told you, that to show courage. Hail means to call. Okay, why was the boy crying? He was crying. He was having fear. He was frightened, scared. Nobody was home, all alone. Okay, what sort of flood Carlo's mother referring to? There actually it was waterlogged situation. They cannot cross that area. Might be actually it was 5 minutes away. So that actually she was referring to. Why couldn't Carlo utter a word? Because he was shocked, stunned. Okay, because he thought actually he is not grown up, and how actually he can take an auto rickshaw to fetch his mother and brother. So he was having that fear. So that's why he could not utter a word, that how he can all alone, okay, call an auto rickshaw and fetch them. Now next, where were Carlo's mother and brother? Obviously, it is stated there. It was in Glory's. That means Glory's supermarket. How far was this place from their home? It was just 5 minutes away. What did Carlo's mother ask him to do? His mother wanted him to hail an auto rickshaw and fetch them. Thank you, children. Rest of the things actually will be explained in the next video. Till then, goodbye. And there is no work to do. Just go through this video, listen it carefully, twice or thrice, and understand this lesson. Okay? Thank you.